Hey guys, Toby here from Yield Labs. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is going to be about Astroport. I want to talk to you a little bit about the newest DEX that is coming to the Terra ecosystem. Astroport is going to be a trustless automated market maker that anybody can use to trade tokens. When it launches, it will bring huge improvements over the current AMMs or DEXs that are currently available in the Terra ecosystem. These improvements will include, but not be limited to, support for multiple pool types, so constant product pool types and stable swap pools in a single protocol. This will allow for better pricing and better trade efficiency across the board. Advanced charting and analytics on LP positions. There will be dual token rewards for LPs. That's something that we will go into a little bit later on. Liquidity providers and Astro stakers will both be able to share the trading fees on the platform. There will be tiers of governance. So there will be like the governance token will be able to be kept liquid, or you will be able to lock it, and locking it will amplify your governance or your voting rights. So all of these points that I've mentioned are in addition to the core functionality that you would expect from any DEX, like slippage controls, multi-hop routing, price impact previews, exchange rate and fee calculations, and all of that good stuff that you would get from something similar on a different blockchain. The biggest one that we all know is going to be Uniswap. On the Ethereum network, again, as I mentioned, the leading AMM by trading volume is Uniswap. It has more than 200 DeFi integrations with many of the most important projects on the network, including trading aggregators such as MetaMask and 1inch, crypto wallets such as Fortmatic and the Trust wallet, index projects, credit protocols such as Aave, Compound, Rari Finance, yield protocols such as Yearn and Convex, DeFi portals, you've got Zappa and Instadap, and stablecoin protocols such as Maker and mStable. Just as Uniswap has become the pillar of the Ethereum ecosystem, the leading Terra DEX will likely do the same. Now, Astroport is built on the Cosmos SDK. That means that Astroport could be integrated with the Wormhole v2, and other interoperability protocols will expand Astroport's reach across the blockchain ecosystem and will allow for interoperability with various other platforms, protocols, blockchains. Like, the possibilities here are massive. A bit of a side note, the growth of all of these new projects coming out into the Terra ecosystem is like watching Ethereum grow over the last several years, except it's been compressed into months instead of years, and it's honestly fascinating and incredible to watch. It's really amazing to be a part of. The white paper goes into great detail about how Astroport is going to run its pools, how it's going to run its liquidity, how it's going to offer different types of pools, and it's incredibly interesting and very complex. So with the aim of keeping this video short and having covered all of the points that I feel are relevant about how it is going to be a really fantastic AMM or a DEX, and how it's going to differ from any others that are currently available, let's talk about when it's going to launch, and let's talk about the tokenomics, and let's talk about how you can get the tokens, because all of these are really cool and exciting. So we can take a look at their Medium page, and we can have a little look at breaking down the Astro token launch allocations. The Astroport launch is imminent. When it goes live, it won't be owned by any single individual entity, but rather by the Astro token holders throughout the Terra ecosystem. At launch, 110 million Astro governance tokens out of a total supply of 1 billion will be floating or circulating. They will be distributed to 3 groups in the following amounts. There's the Airdrop, there's the phase 1 Lockdrop, and there is the phase 2 Astro UST bootstrapping. So the recipients of the Airdrop will be the TFI Chads, and there is 25 million to Astro tokens up for grabs there. Phase 1, the Lockdrop. This will be for users who lock Terraswap liquidity in Astroport for a drop or distribution of the Astro tokens. This is happening over a period of several days. And then phase 2 is the Astro UST bootstrap pool. So users who add ASTRO and or UST tokens to the ASTRO UST liquidity pool, and there is a total of 10 million ASTRO tokens to be distributed there. So we'll explore who is expected to qualify for each group and the ASTRO distributions that they will receive. These groups and numbers are subject to change. As we go pretty close to this event now, I'm not expecting to see enormous changes in this. However, we will follow their Twitter and keep ourselves aware of any announcements. So the ASTRO airdrop. To get ASTRO governance tokens in the hands of active Terra supporters and users, they will be distributed to the two groups of TFI Chads. The ASTRO airdrop will go to two groups of people who are currently very active in the Terra ecosystem. These are the Luna stakers and they are the liquidity providers on Terraswap. So the LP tokens that we're concerned ourselves with here are Luna UST. It's that pair that they're talking about. So to the Terra Luna stakers, there will be 12.5 million tokens. The snapshot has been taken on September the 9th, 2021. So if you had Luna staked on September the 9th, then you will be eligible for this airdrop. The same for the Terraswap LPs, 12.5 million tokens. Users who had liquidity in Terraswap pools that had more than $1 million US worth of liquidity on September the 9th, 2021 also. So before Astroport's December the 20th launch, airdrop recipients will have the option of pre-claiming and locking their ASTRO tokens into the ASTRO UST liquidity bootstrapping pool to receive additional ASTRO tokens. That's relevant to phase 2, and I will get a little diagram on the screen in a little bit when we talk about that some more. Let's talk a little bit about what these look like. So phase 1 is the Lockdrop. As I spoke about earlier, you can provide liquidity into, you can basically give the DEX your liquidity, take it out of Terraswap, give it to Astroport, they will give you your ASTRO tokens. There is a whole bunch of tokens that are going to be supported for this airdrop. I'm going to run through them real fast, but they'll be up on the screen too. There is Luna, there is Anchor, there is B Luna, there is Mirror, Orion, STT, Mine, Apollo, Valkyrie, and Nexus Protocol. Now, the distributions are also here too. There's 75 million total tokens to be distributed in this way. You can see right up at the top, these are in descending order. So Luna UST has the biggest percentage, Nexus has the smallest at 3%. The phase 1 Lockdrop will run from December the 6th until December the 13th for phase 1. The first 5 days of phase 1, Terraswap liquidity providers can migrate their liquidity from Terraswap over to Astroport, and everyone who does this will receive a one-time ASTRO distribution when the product launches on December the 20th. It's almost like a Christmas calendar, right? 14 days, countdown to launch. Phase 1, users can begin migrating their liquidity from Terraswap over to Astroport. You'll have 4 days in total to do this, after which up to 50% of the migrated liquidity can be withdrawn from Astroport. On the last day of phase 1, the maximum withdrawable amount will reduce to 0%. Phase 2, users can begin locking ASTRO received from the airdrop or phase 1 and or UST in the ASTRO UST liquidity bootstrap pool. You will have 4 days to do this, and then the last day to add ASTRO and or UST will be 3 days prior to launch. 2 days prior to launch will be the final opportunity to withdraw up to 50% of the migrated liquidity from the LP pool. The final day to withdraw any UST from the Astroport, up to 50% can be withdrawn at the start of the day, with the amount falling linearly to 0%. ASTRO won't be live or tradable during phase 2, so any ASTRO that's deposited must come from 2 sources. Either ASTRO credits you may have received for participating in phase 1, or pre-claiming any ASTRO airdrop that you may be eligible for. Phase 2 will provide the initial liquidity for the ASTRO tokens. It will also act like a price discovery period for the ASTRO token itself, which really means they will act as a value discovery for Astroport governance. The price will be determined by how much UST and ASTRO users add to the pool and at what ratio they add it. For example, if there are 100 ASTRO tokens and 100 UST in the pool, the price of ASTRO will be 1 UST when Astroport launches. Users can commit ASTRO and UST to the bootstrapping pool in any configuration. For example, they can do ASTRO and UST, they can deposit just ASTRO, they can deposit just UST. So it's the cumulative value of the pool that will decide this. Any deposits will get converted into ASTRO UST LP tokens. If you deposit just one asset, it will get converted into a 50-50 share when the pool closes. This means that when you redeem your LP tokens, you will receive back a combination of ASTRO and UST. Be aware that you cannot withdraw your ASTRO tokens once they've been deposited during phase 2, and you will have to wait until your lock expires. Note that the single-sided deposits will directly affect the pool's ratio and the implied price of ASTRO as illustrated in the table below. A total of 10 million ASTRO tokens will have been distributed to liquidity providers who commit ASTRO and or UST to the pool. There is no advantage to being the first person to deposit into the pool. Your ASTRO allocation will be determined by the total percentage of the pool you own when the snapshot is taken at the end of phase 2. And then ASTRO will launch with the liquidity provided by the Terra community. After Astroport's launch, some of the projects may award third-party governance tokens, for example, Anchor or Mirror and so on, to liquidity locked in Astroport's Lockdrop if those projects choose to use Astroport's Astro generators. Now, Astro generators are designed to distribute dual rewards. For example, you might see that some protocols, for example, maybe like CeFi, you can earn yield in kind, and then you will get a supplementary yield in their governance token too. It's kind of similar to that. I think that actually warrants its own video with perhaps going into a little bit more detail about how other pools work. So that will come at a later date. I just wanted to make you guys aware of the upcoming Lockdrop and how you can participate in it and how you can perhaps be a part of bootstrapping this new DEX into fruition. And that's a wrap on Astroport. I hope that it gave you a fairly decent overview of the DEX and how it intends to be different and how it intends to add value to its users. It's a wrap on the tokenomics and the little intro to how Astroport will be using the ASTRO Lockdrop and the ASTRO Airdrop to deposit its tokens through phase 1 and phase 2. And I hope it's been informative, and thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment and subscribe if you aren't already, and thank you so much, and I will catch you next time. Have a great day, guys.